This is Behind the Keys with Jack and now Athena. Athena Entertainment. Athena Entertainment. Who is she? What's she about? Let me quickly give you a little bio who she is and what she's about. She's been in business for quite some time. I'll let her answer that. But she is known through the tri state area for having the most specialized acts in events and wedding, from aerialists, fire breathing, violinist, the whole nine yards. You kind of Athena is recognized for all these nice little details that add an extra, I guess, level of entertainment when it comes to the wow factor. She is recognized at all these exclusive banquet halls and venues, and I'm very honored that she's like one of our connections here at 412 Event Center with LJ DJs, and we rely on her with all the extra add-ons to really add the extra spices to all the events that we host. Athena is an artist. I feel like she's 21 because the girl is like super sassy and alive. I love it. And being an artistry, she's also recognized with a few towns hired her to add some sort of details around the neighborhood. We're talking floral painting and some little iconic, I guess, statement pieces for a lot of the towns and some of the, even some, probably some restaurants too, if I'm not mistaken. But for the most part, I want to turn our camera now to Athena. This is Athena. All right. Athena, can you just add to a little bit of what I just mentioned? Am I missing anything? Can you just add to that?
No, you're actually perfect. That's exactly what I do.
That's exactly what I do.
Exactly.
What you do? Okay. All right. This is going to be simple then. All right. Athena, how long have you been doing this? Let's dive into this. How long have you been doing specialty acts? Because I'm just talking brief. I know you customize the dresses, you customize every little piece, but like, how long have you been doing this? And I'll keep adding more to this. Go on. Tell me how long.
Okay. I opened my company on April 17, 2007.
Okay.
So, and I was starting playing with the industry probably like 1 year prior to that, but officially 2007.
In 2007, you started. Okay. Let's go back in 2007. What was the first thing that you did as Athena Entertainment that kind of made you excited, that you said to yourself that this is where I want to be? This is what I want to do for a living. What was your first event in 2007?
Actually, my company had a lot of transitions throughout the years, and I started by doing actually kids parties. Small birthday parties, 10 kids, 15 kids,
Okay.
Elmos, Mickeys, and that's how I started. But then throughout the years, my vision for the company have changed, and slowly but surely it is where it's today.
All right. So you said you started with kids party, right? Wow, this is a major jump. I mean, from kid. I mean, I was doing kid parties too, and I still do them to this day. But like from kids party, let's talk about the evolution of Athena, like, because this Behind the Keys is really behind of your success, because a lot of people are intrigued, they're inspired by someone like you who are in that same industry, but also there's a lot of women out there that are trying to find that entrepreneur, they're trying to find that mentor that's going to help them catapult to where they want to be. But let's go back into the kid party stuff. Like, what were you doing for kids? What I want to know. Let's talk about that. What were you doing for kids?
Okay, as you have mentioned, I'm an artist, whether it's painting on canvas, murals, or face painting. So I started doing face painting. I got hired to do a lot of face painting at kid parties. And then when I was doing the face painting, somebody would ask me, oh, do you know a balloon twister? And then, oh, do you know someone who can dress up as Elmo? Oh, do you know a DJ who can come in and spin for the kids' party? One thing about me, I never say no, and I figure out how to get it done. Me being a face painter, then I start recommending balloon twisters, then I start recommending some other talent, and I grew into this children's entertainment company. But then, and during this time, I was also doing a lot of body painting. And when I always like to bring my skill to the next level and have my beautiful creatures be bigger and better and bolder. When I was doing the body painting, I was like, okay, so how am I going to make it look better for the event? Oh, let's add the headdress. Oh, let's add the back piece. And eventually I realized I was getting so many bookings that I realized that I won't be able to do body painting at 5-6 events at a time because it's only one me.
Got it.
So, and then I was like, okay, what's the next step? The next step will be costume changes. But then the body painting cannot be in the picture no more because we can really wash it off and put the new body painting on. So, and that's how that got transitioned into costume change performers.
So there had to be like a bug that told you like you're more than just balloon twisting, face painting type of girl. You knew you had that type of the artistry in you, and something, obviously you wanted more. Just as any entrepreneur, they want more, and they just don't know what it is yet. So when you started moving up a few years later, there had to be a big act that came into place that you said this was your moment. Do you recall one of the biggest events that you knew that this was meant for you?
There were many of them, but there was actually one in particular that definitely has. It was probably the biggest event of my career, wherein at the where is Devil playing? The
Prudential Center.
Okay, so
Yes.
the Prudential Center was a non-for-profit event, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and they were doing this big event for kids. It was about probably a few thousand kids, and they hired my company to produce the whole ice skating show and all this entertainment at the event. And it was, I had every single human on the planet working for me. From my company. I even had my dad coming and
I
working
bet
out.
you need to have your parents support you in this summit. This is important.
It took a while for my dad to support me because I don't know, his vision was different from me. He wanted me to become a doctor or a lawyer, but it didn't work out very well. But his vision.
My parents wanted me to become a model, and look what happened to me. Nothing happened.
He's still a model.
Yeah, model for what? Hand model? That's all I have. All right, so this is good that you're pushing the envelope now. You got this opportunity to do Prudential Center. You're in the spotlight now. This is the motivation that a lot of people need in order to grow, because you found out that this is your hub. This is what you needed to do in this industry. So now, with that momentum happening, you had some challenges. I'm sure you had tons of challenges. There had to be some haters. There had to be a lot of other people in the industry that are trying to hold you back, whether they called you copycat, whether they try to steal some of your ideas, your vision. How did you overcome any of this?
Definitely was quite a few people like that throughout the years. But you know what? I figured that I have to take the high road. For example, I was comparing myself to, let's say, Versace or Gucci or any other brands like Louis. How do they differentiate themselves from someone else? People will be ripping off their designs all the time. So the trick is to always stay innovative, new, and always come up with something different. So by the time other people will figure out how to get this done, you're already on the next bigger and better things. So you're really only in competition with yourself, and that's how I look at it. As long as I can produce the best version of me, the best version of my company at every event, this is my goal.
True. Now, how staffing-wise, where are you at now? How many performers and talents that you have currently with Athena Entertainment?
We have about 500 or 600 performers as of right now. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a whole Broadway show,
Yeah, some of them work only a few times a year for us, but we also have a pool of at least probably maybe 80 or 90 people who work with us on a regular basis all the time.
I got you. Okay. Who's this Tim guy that you work with?
Tim is my manager. He's my right hand, my left hand. He's the reason why I can go away and have some me time. And he's definitely backing me up on.
So Tim, aside from your backhand, hear me, right hand, left hand, back support, the whole 9 yards. I work with him all the time whenever I don't see you. And I know Tim is very OCD just like you. There's a big challenge in our industry in general. Yeah, I should say in all businesses, but there's a big challenge where how do you mentor, how do you teach someone your way when it's a very competitive market? How did you build that confidence to say, Tim, you know what? Take the reign. You can help build Athena to where it needs to be, Athena Entertainment. What were your steps to really coaching Tim to manage 600, if not 600 plus events a year? What do you do?
I think the main thing is you have to determine if the person really cares. You have to show them that they're a big part of the company and that their decision matters, and whatever they do has a big influence on the company. And so they can take on that responsibility, that it's not just a job, it's your future. And also I had to explain to him that we do events for people that might probably were saving money their whole life to be able to afford this event. or we are part of the memories that will be in somebody's life for the rest of their life. So that's why no matter what, it matters, not only for us, but also matters for all of our customers to get the job done right. So that's one thing. Number two, I trust him. I trust him with his vision, and I tell him this all the time. But I'm also an artist, and I'm a creative director, and I'm very OCD when it comes to my costumes, headdresses.
Of course.
From earrings to socks, everything has to be perfect.
Has to be perfect.
Yes.
So can you share which one is your biggest, the best, or the biggest design that you've done for, I guess, what was the biggest design, I guess? Because the way I'm thinking is like you do the dresses, you do these aerialists, you do everything crazy. So what is the right word I'm looking for is what is the biggest design package that you have that Athena Entertainment has that no one else has? Can you share that or no? Do you want to share that?
We do a lot of cool stuff, and sometimes we do crazy stuff. I remember one time the client called us and they wanted us to bake this giant 16-feet piñata.
Okay.
And as the
was
bride
the client
and groom,
SpongeBob? No.
right. And when the bride and groom would come up to the piñata and hit it, all the placement cards will fall out of it and hang off its belly. So it has to be really giant. So we worked on it for a while.
All right, so let's dive into that a little bit here. How did you plant the seed that this was a piñata? Was it their idea about this piñata with the invitations and the seating arrangements, or was this yours? Like, let's get into the creative juices here. How did this even evolve? I'm sitting down with you. I'm planning my party. I'm planning my birthday party, wherever the case is, and we're starting right from the beginning. Where do I find my guests? How do my guests find their seats? That's the most vague idea I can give you. And how did you create this?
Actually, we were lucky enough to have a very creative event planner working on this project, and the event planner came up with it. So they pretty much just called us and Athena, we don't know who else to call because this is something out of the box, and maybe you can help us.
Okay, this is good. This is good. So out of the box, that pineapple idea, invitations, your seating arrangements come out, and everyone's fighting, I guess, to find out where they're sitting. That's just great. That's the experiment. That's it. The experience, and that's what. Already the guests are wowed, okay? That was pretty unique. There was probably some weaknesses in this industry where you felt like you were defeated. All right, I want to go into that a little bit. Was there a certain moment in life, besides personal, besides the business, that you thought that you weren't cut out for this?
It happened quite a few times, but I think the toughest point was definitely COVID. Mm-hmm. When I realized about 3 weeks into the pandemic, that events are not coming back anytime soon. And I had to actually have a Zoom meeting with all of my performers and pretty much deliver that news to them.
How did you handle that? What did you do to
it was probably
give them
one
the
of
confidence back?
It was probably the toughest moment of my career as a leader, as a CEO of the company. So all of our people who work for us the most, pretty much had a Zoom meeting with them. And I pretty much told them that, okay, now apply for any grants that you can. If you can somehow maybe move with your parents for now, for a year, because I knew it was going to be more than a year. Mm-hmm. Because it was pretty obvious. Save your money. We actually had our performers design some masks that we were actually creating in-house and selling them to help them a little bit, but it's peanuts comparing to...
it was peanuts, not penis. Okay. It was peanuts.
Sorry,
right.
It's my...
You're craning. I thought you were from Salt Lake City, Utah. I don't know. That accent threw me off a little bit, right? But the pandemic was something that a lot of people experienced, and they didn't know. No one had any answers. I'm in the same industry, so that was really challenging for us because we had to speak to over 300 plus brides and grooms, and we just had to try to find answers, right? And I'm sure you did the same thing, find answers, but most importantly, your team, your squad, your family, your second family. When there's no home, there's no money, there's no food, it's like you're lost. We did the same thing. We asked our own team to apply for anything. And we had PPP. We helped out some of the people in our crew as well, but it still wasn't enough because there was no hope. There was no hope. We still had no idea what was going on. And in one of my last podcasts, I did say that I took advantage also of the situation. The world collapsed. There was no direction. No one knew what to do. A lot of people were just falling from food and beverage. Uber was stricter with everything. Real estate kicked ass. Furniture sales were extremely high. Anything with home improvement just blew up tremendously. And that's just like economics 101. What do? You got to attack, become a furniture maker, become a realtor. It just that everyone falls into where the money is, and of course where comfortability is. So now, with you, the pandemic, you felt depressed, you didn't know what to do. You saw the light. You saw the light. The light came in, and there had to be some sort of fuel that said, you know what? I'm not going down. I'm Athena. I'm the best of the best. I need to push myself. What was the motivation? What struck you that said, you know what? I'm not giving up. I can't give up. What did you do?
Actually, COVID was probably, even though it was the worst, but also probably the best thing that ever happened to me as a person, as a CEO, as a leader. During this time, we were creating new costumes, and as everybody was trying to figure out what to do, we were pretty much just making new stuff because we knew sooner or later it was going to change. The pandemic is going to be over. So we were working on it, creating new things, reorganizing our warehouse, etc. And also slaved for 15 years in my industry to bring it to where it is now. I slaved. I never had time to even go to esthetician, to go to the gym, none of this. So now with this pandemic, I had so much more freedom to actually do me time. And the pandemic taught me about self-care. So when we came out of the pandemic, I was already so used to this that I actually had time for myself, going for massages, go to the gym every morning.
Yes, I do.
Spying on you.
I see you every morning. I'm riding my bike,
Yes,
eating
on
a
your
burrito,
bike.
and playing some Tetris or whatever the case is.
Right.
But
And what that taught me, I really loved that lifestyle. And after pandemic, I start delegating more stuff, hiring more people, and have other people run events and pretty much do stuff for me. And honestly, this is the best thing ever because now before everything was on my shoulders and it was only like one man show, so to speak. But now I feel like my company is growing bigger and better because of new people that are hired, new ideas, new faces, and we get to do a lot more events now.
I do see that. I mean, we've been seeing your patterns in the office. We see the patterns outside in these venues. Like I said, I see Tim all the time when we work together, and we're crushing it. Like together, we're coordinated. We just recently did a big event. It was a 60th birthday, and we had your squad there. We had an aerialist. We had a Bollywood dancer. What else? Did it have anything else? I think we also had like snake charmer and stuff like that. But we had the two key components with this was, one, culturally, we had to hit him. He was Indian. I called Athena. Of course, Athena had, I need a Bollywood dancer. And of course.
How was she? Was she good?
I had a double. So I was there for half the moment, but I did leave. But we did get content, which we're going to put on the B-roll here. And it was amazing. It was amazing. She was in character. She did her thing. And that was one of the key things, which was like, sadly, this happens a lot where it's the nature of our business. Our clients want the best, but also they want to also, anything that we bring in has to be a reflection of not just them, but also their culture. And that was one of the biggest challenges that we had to filter and comb through so many different, you did it for us, the Bollywood performers. She had to be Indian because he threw back at us, oh, you saw Slumdog Millionaire list, all the backup dancers were all American. And that was a big thing in my country. How dare they? And those are key notes that I grabbed. I'm like, oh shit, we got to really figure this out because like I can't have an Irish Bollywood dancer. And you found that. You found the perfect girl. She was amazing. And even kudos, like even her accent was really on point. I don't think she had an accent when I spoke to her. I think she was she from New York?
She's Indian. No,
she is Indian. But she's from New York?
She's from New York.
Yeah, okay. I thought it would have like, I thought I heard a little more of a Brooklyn accent, but I would never tell she was Indian. But she was awesome. The footage that we got was amazing, what we saw. And obviously our guest of honor was very happy. And your aerialist was amazing. She's like somewhat even a contortionist. I thought she twisted her body and they were real freaky. I don't know how you find these people, but that's just crazy.
Actually, they find us.
They find you?
They find us now, yep.
Wow. I do the contortionist. I thought that was really cool that she was in the air doing all this, the changes. Now, let's talk into your business here, your business model. We know that Athena's has blown up. You're getting bigger. You're getting better. You're adding more options. There's a lot of women in your position that are just entrepreneurs and they want to figure out how to get the right step. But you invested a lot of money. You invested a lot of time. Was there any poor investment that you regret and you want to take back?
Whatever on my website, whatever at the parties, honestly, that's probably only 15 to 20% of what really is going on behind the scene. because we do a lot of costumes. We create like about maybe 6 or 7 costumes every single week, but not all of them are successful. Some of them we use once and we never use again.
And how much would that dress cost? Let's just say a table, a walk-in table.
Strolling table to make it probably about between 4 to 5 thousand.
$4,000 to $5,000, yes. And then you have to sell that a few times just to make your money back.
Correct.
Right. And it's not easy. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean on that end.
not.
So now, if I wanted to get into something like you, just becoming an agent, a talent agent, I need to build the confidence to knowing that I have a great model in place, because I want my talents and my artists to be comfortable in a home where they know they're being managed properly, directed properly, communicated properly. Is there any words of advice that you can share with any newbies out there, especially women? Because these women are coming out of nowhere, and I give them props. They're coming out because they're creating, whether it's cake pops, whether they want to own a restaurant, they're coming out being owners of some sort of business. I love seeing that. But what are any words of advice to help out these the ladies that really need to jump into this?
Sure. Stay hungry. You must stay hungry. Aggressive. Don't be afraid. Also, attention to details. And think luxury. Think high-end. Don't be Walmart.
Don't be Walmart. Don't be Walmart. Think
Otherwise,
high-end.
because if you're going to be Walmart, you will be competing with pricing. And you'll be making pennies on the dollar. And I feel like every customer is going to be just a number.
Now, with Gucci, with Versace, with Prada, these are brands that don't put commercials out. You just know by their name, right? So if I sat down with you, and I'm turning 40, let's just say, how do you sell me a Gatsby-themed event? What's your first step to try to sell me a Gatsby world?
Okay, so in this case, it will be by experience. So first, we're gonna go through the cocktail hour. What would you like to see in a cocktail hour?
Can I ask? What questions would you ask me to bring in more, like to communicate more with you? Where it's, I have this idea.
Right.
What are the steps to break me down to know how, I guess, vulnerable I am with the idea of a Gatsby?
Okay, so first, I would like to find out more about
The breakdown, yes.
Yes, so first I would like to know more about the event. What's the demographics? How old are the people? Where are the people from? How many people are we working with? And what type of event is it? Is it more of a sit-down dinner, or is it a buffet style? Is it going to be more of a lounge and club theme when people are partying and dancing the whole time? Or it's going to be more an official sit-down dinner with speeches and etc.? So I would need to know, and based on that, I will advise on what type of entertainment is going to be more appropriate. So, for example, if it's going to be more of a club when the client wants everybody to dance all night, I'm not going to sell them a dance show when everybody sits down and watches a show. No, it would have to be all ambience entertainment throughout the whole entire party.
Yeah, I
So.
totally agree.
Right.
I bring up the Gatsby because I believe we closed the world down with our Gatsby-themed
Yes, we did.
event.
Yes,
it was
we
like
did.
the last big event before the world collapsed. And obviously I owe a lot of that vision with you, because right from the beginning, the guests walked in and they saw a violinist on no, it wasn't a
Carpet.
violin,
Human carpet.
a human carpet. A human carpet right from the beginning. Can you explain the details of a human carpet, what that is?
Sure. Part of the experience, you want to wow guests from the moment they walk into the venue. And the carpet is a perfect accessory to that. So people walk on the carpet, and then carpet turns into a performer's dress, and performer is waving, smiling at your guests, either serves them champagne or plays violin. So that's already a wow factor, and that's the first Kodak moment right there.
Right, and I think we added more to this. This is just the cocktail hour at my party. And then we had someone in a bathtub. It was at Crystal Plaza.
That was so cool.
One in the bathtub,
That
and
was awesome.
well, we picked up a car accident too at the same time. Yeah, there was a lady in a bathtub, and she was just flowering, like throwing flowers on herself. And it was beautiful because it just added this elegance, and this theme was like really popping out right from the door before people walked into the reception. And that was like something that was right off the cuff. We just saw this bathtub at Crystal Plaza that they use for champagne. I'm like, let's just throw her on there. And it was brilliant because like it really everyone was taking photos, they loved her. And now it's like, all right, we're at this level, but people need to be wowed. Of course, with this whole Gatsby theme, shutting the world down, we walk into the ballroom, and sure enough, what else happened here that Athena put together for us? She put out two contortionists, is that right? They were on like
On the giant martini glasses, yeah.
two martini glasses. Can you talk about that now? Where did you find this?
Right. So obviously you want to elevate like the excitement to the next level because now people, okay, what's next? So we saw the cocktail hour. What's next? So they walk in into the reception and these giant martini glasses that rotate and contortionists perform on them. So that's like perfect for 1920s Gatsby themed party. Perfect. It's sexy, it's elegant, and it's very Gatsby. It screams the theme right there.
That was
cool.
It was magical. We'll put the link just so everyone can see, get an idea of what you do, because like it's unheard of. I still get this. I get the compliments all the time. Like, dude, it was literally the last party of the year of before the world, and I was like, let's go all in, and we did go all in. It was a nice price tag on that, but it was something that I'm always going to keep treasuring, and I'm sure all the clients feel the same way when they deal with you. You definitely give them a show and a half. Now, let's go into more of your business now, okay? You have an accountant, you do your own bookkeeping, you do your own taxes. How do you manage 600 people? Are they employees? What are you doing? W-2s, 1099s? Because a lot of people that are in your position that are talent agents, they don't know what they're doing. A lot of them are just like keeping them as 1099s, but there's bigger risk with stuff like that. Or is it W-2s? What are you doing on your end?
As of right now, it's all 1099s, and it's good for my business because I hire them as I need to, which is great. But as of, I'm already at the transition of putting few people on W-2 because they work for me a lot.
There you go. Yeah. And the W-2 is great because the W-2 is giving them like a little more of a home now that they know they're established. They're going to get the first dibs on most of the events. Mm-hmm. And I assume you're going to be training them to do more than just, I guess, play violin or on stilts. You have so many options that you offer. I'm sure there's always a career ladder with anyone that does become a full-time employee with you. So
100%. And even people who work with me now, they had certain transitions. For example, the girl Nika, you've seen her many times at my events. She started as a regular model. And then
Nika was the blonde one, was it? Like,
no, the one with the
dark hair. Okay.
So one thing about me that I feel like I can see a potential in people even more than they see it in themselves. For example, the girl Nika, she started by being a regular model in my Champagne Diva outfits. Then when I started getting to know her, she told me that she's a dancer. Okay, so then I started putting her in dance jobs. And then she told me that she actually knows how to choreograph things. And because of her talent in choreographies, I actually added an add-on to all of my packages for our performers to do a choreographed dance show. Let's say if you book 4 performers or more. So, and slowly but surely, she grew throughout the years in my company to the point that now she doesn't even work as a model or a dancer anymore. Now she's an event manager, talent coordinator, and choreographer.
She's now like a reflection of your brand now. Yeah. So this is really cool because this is the way how things evolve, when you build the trust. It's amazing. This is the perfect seed to grow. So now going into more of your practice, your business model, where do you see Athena after the weaknesses, the strengths, everything you've done in the past? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now with Athena Entertainment? Where do you see it going?
I definitely see bigger and better, even more costumes, even bigger quality, bigger shows. But I also see being in-house show.
Describe bigger shows. What exactly is bigger shows for you?
I see having a Broadway show by Athena Entertainment. Come immersive experience theater by Athena Entertainment.
So this is a goal of yours.
That's the next step.
This is your goal, to be on
step.
Broadway, to incorporate everything that you're talking about, all your whole entire experience from the face painting days to all the way into Broadway. That's a very high goal, and I think you'll definitely achieve it sooner than later for sure.
I want to.
That's interesting.
That's the next step.
What's the path right now? What are you doing right now to lead you a little bit closer to that Broadway vision?
So I already contacted a couple of my friends who are in the industry who would want to be part of the process because I need a space. It's probably going to be something in Jersey. A space, so it's going to be a home for this show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first step. We need to find a space. And me and my choreographer actually already have been talking about what the vision is going to be, what the experience is going to be. Slowly but surely, we're just putting the program together. So maybe a year, maybe two, it will.
Do you
The
think
birth will be happening.
you're in a very competitive market? Like I said, there's a lot of other walk-in tables. To be honest, there's a lot of people from New York, New Jersey that do a lot of the things that you have. Everyone has a certain kind of confidence in their brand, which is great. But also, there's always a lot of similarities. There has to be one thing. When I sit down with Athena, when anyone sits down with Athena Entertainment, they're instantly sold. Do you know what that is? Why do they instantly sold when they sit down with Athena?
The quality.
Quality.
The quality. When you take a picture of that strolling table, Champagne Diva, etc., you zoom in on it, it's going to be perfect. Every seam is going to be perfect. There's all the costumes are new, impeccable. And also, I think we are really good at managing talent because I know that our competition usually tries to save on expenses by not providing the talent management, and we always provide talent management for all of our jobs.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a higher expense, it costs us money, but at the same time, it's something that I believe we need in order to produce great event. That's one thing. And another thing is we hire all top professionals. We have performers who perform in Paris, perform in Vegas, performed on Broadway. These are the caliber of performers that actually work for us.
Wow.
We pay them
And
double what other competition pays their people. But
it shows obviously behind your vision, and aside from just the talent and the artistry of the girls and the guys that you have, the service behind it, of course. It's not just sales pitching that I have the best tables or the best detailed dress. It's clear. You can paint the picture right from the beginning to the very end. And I believe that kind of leaves the couple, the guest, the customer at ease, knowing like my vision. You caught on to it right away. So that really secures, I believe, your bookings with that type of confidence and security.
that's true. And I feel also another thing, and I hear that a lot from the clients, that we care. Like me and my company cares. And my reputation is as good as my worst job that I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that every single party is top, that I know that I will sleep well at night knowing that we did everything possible to bring that event to the next level. And very often I tell clients, if they want something that's probably not going to fit at their party as much, I tell the client right away, save your money. Don't do it. Don't do it because it's not going to be a good fit for your party. Do something else instead, so to speak.
Got it. All right. I mean, you nailed it. I'm so happy that I got to finally interview the queen of specialty acts. I don't know if that's the correct term, but I know I've always admired your work from the beginning. And in conclusion, this is just the first time we're going to be having this conversation. I know we're going to have more of these convos because once we upload this and everyone's asking questions, who you are, what you're at, it's just going to bring you back into this world of podcasting and more video, getting to know the face behind the name, Athena Entertainment. Any last words of advice for young entrepreneurs that want to do what you do?
Stay innovative, stay hungry, don't be afraid to push the limits and bring something new to the industry. Industry is hungry to see something new. People have seen it all already. Bring something new, something that nobody's seen before.
True. All right. In the end, can you look at the camera and just put out your tag, put out your information so we can put this all on the bottom of our feeds here. This is the camera you're going to look at right there, and just let them know who you are, what you're about, and your tag so they can find you.
Sure. My name is Athena Jack. I'm the CEO and president of Athena Entertainment. You can visit our website at www.athenaentertainment.com and find us on Instagram or social media as Athena Entertainment.
You kicked ass. There you go.
That's it. We're good?
That's it. I'm going to stop it right here.
All right.
You know? How do you think?
Wow, we're good.
I know, because there's a big clock right there. How do you think you do?
It's good.
Yeah?
Good stuff.
Were you nervous? No?
I mean, I've done it before.
You've done it before.
Used to be on reality TV shows.
Oh.
Crazy.
Well, we could have gotten more personal, but maybe next time.
Okay.
Cool. All right. I'm going to stop.